I don't really know how to start this. I feel really nervous filming this. I don't normally feel nervous when I film something. Normally I'm just like a ball of energy, but yeah, this is very weird. I tried to script this the other night, but every time I tried to write something out, it just didn't really feel right. So we're going off the cuff. I don't think that's the right phrase, but alas. If this video is uploaded on time, it is the last day of Autism Awareness Week. And I have a lot of feelings towards this week. A lot of feelings personally and a lot of feelings towards the world and how people react to this week. So I guess I'll start with me. Woo. So during this week, 4 years ago, when I was 17, I was diagnosed with ASD. ASD, for those of you that don't know, is autism spectrum disorder, aka autism. I'm like fiddling with my comb right now. It's because I'm like full of nervous energy. I don't know why. I find it deeply ironic that it was Autism Awareness Week whenever I was diagnosed. That irony has yet to elude me. It's still present if you ask me, but let's not get into that. During these past few years, I have watched people's reactions to this week. Mainly from afar. I don't tend to talk a lot or post at all about this week, just because I have a love-hate relationship with it. Part of me loves that there is an awareness week for those of us who are autistic, but part of me hates it as well because it's been bastardized, and I kind of want to talk about that. If you're on the bookish sphere, especially on Instagram, you'll find that during this week, more so during the final day of this week, there is normally a lot of posts on your feed. And it's people collecting recommendations of books with autistic characters, with autistic protagonists, or even autistic writers. And I love that. Like I do. I love that so much because it's always nice to see some representation on my feed, and it's nice when people make those lists to be able to save them. And I do save them. I scroll endlessly to find them and I save them all, so I'll be able to look back at them and finally read these books, because I know if I don't save them today, then I'm going to have to wait another year. And that's the thing that really sucks. People only seem to care about autistic representation whenever there's a reason to. It's not a bad thing. To be honest, it's a great thing. It's nice to see people sharing posts saying that autism isn't everything that society and the media makes it out to be, that autistic people are so multidimensional, that we're so layered, that we can be successful, we can be whatever we want to be. But at the same time, it just feels so performative. It hurts watching it from, I was going to say from the outside, but honestly from the inside, because you see people sharing all these posts, these beautiful infographics, these lovely illustrations, and for a moment it makes you feel really appreciated and it makes you feel seen. But that's only for a moment, because those stories after 24 hours will disappear and the posts will get lost in your feed, and people don't really care to talk about it afterwards. I said this before and I'll say it again, it just feels so performative. I don't doubt that people care. I know that people care, because there's so many people out there who have autistic relatives, who have autistic friends, who are autistic themselves. But there's also so many people out there that see something being shared and think, oh, I should do that, I should share that too, and then they never think about it again. Within the autistic community, we don't want autism awareness, we want autistic acceptance. We want people all throughout the year, not just this one week, this one day, this month, to be aware that we are people very much like you. There's not a lot of differences. And it just sucks. It sucks because we feel seen for a few days or a few hours, and then we're put on the back burner again. If you're watching this video and you have been posting this week talking about autism awareness and autistic acceptance, thank you, to be honest. Thank you for posting about it, thank you for talking about it, thank you for making a conversation. And if I can be so selfish, I ask that you continue to do that. Continue to support autistic people, continue to raise awareness for us, because at the end of the day, our voices are rarely heard. It's very easy for people to push aside what autistic people say. I don't know why I'm finding this really hard to make, I am. I'm making this video as my little way to spread awareness. I want the conversation that we've started this week to continue throughout the rest of the year. I want the people who have posted about autism acceptance to continue posting about it. I want people who have posted their beautiful recommendations of books to read those books and to tell us about them throughout the year. I just don't want autistic people to be ignored after this week is over, because for the past few years that's all I've seen. I suppose part of me is being naive and hopeful that if we continue this conversation and we make it known and people talk about autism and autistic people the way we talked about other minority groups and other disabled people, that maybe other girls who were like me when I was younger would get diagnosed faster. When it comes to autism diagnoses, it's very disproportionate when it comes to gender. Most girls aren't diagnosed until they're around about my age, when I was, which was 17. Not because they didn't show symptoms, not because they didn't show signs, but because people don't tend to understand autism unless it's the kind that the world and the media portray. Which, to be entirely honest, is pretty inaccurate. Autistic people come in all forms and shapes and sizes. I know this video is kind of a mess, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out about this and kind of just briefly touch on how performative the activism feels within all spheres. I know that I mentioned the bookish sphere. This is a booktube account that I talk about books, but it's everywhere. It's a problem in every group, every society. What I just hope from this is the 10 people that watch it go away and think to themselves, wow, I don't know as much as I thought I did about what it means to be autistic, and maybe I should try to learn more. Listen to autistic people in your life, online, wherever. Support them in the way that you'd want to be supported. Because God knows some of us need the support. I just kind of wanted to get that out there and kind of briefly talk about how this week as an autistic person makes me feel. And it makes me feel kind of shitty. If you take enough time out of your day, or have done for this past week, to share a story, to write a comment, a post about Autism Awareness Week, take time out of your life to think about autistic people throughout the rest of the year. I'm not asking for you to devote your life to autism acceptance and awareness. I'm just asking for you to think, to sit down at one moment on one random day and think to yourself, maybe I don't know as much as I thought I did about autistic people, and maybe I should change that and try to support them. I'm not going to get into statistics on the life expectancy of autistic people, but it's grim. It's kind of grim. And I'm not going to get into other stats about mental health issues, though God knows they're there. I just want anyone who sees this to take it of their own accord, to actually think a little bit more about the stats that you're posting and the people that they represent. I think I'm gonna end this here. If you watched this, thank you. I really appreciate that, genuinely. And I hope you have a nice day. Bye.